fucking with my character, first and foremost, and like putting me in jail in front of my family. That's the part where I felt like it hurt the most. I ever put my name with nothing but fraud.
Hang on, one more.
One more what? Handcuff?
Yep.
Where?
On the feet.
Come on, bro.
No,
come on.
It's the new policy. That's why I'm explaining everything to you, okay?
Never said I had to put cuffs on my leg. Wait above our head. I was just waiting above our head. It's no criminal. We don't make decisions. Alright.
I'm gonna keep it at that. I've never physically wrote a check with my name from my bank account to anybody. Forget the casinos, to anybody. I've never done that. You know?
Marcus Morris has officially hit rock bottom. After 13 seasons in the NBA, the man who once pulled in millions might actually end up declaring bankruptcy, and it all ties back to a mountain of casino debt and whispers that the IRS has their own stack of paperwork with his name on it. This isn't just some messy rumor. Just weeks ago, Marcus was arrested at an airport in Florida, hauled away in front of his family with both wrists cuffed and his ankles shackled. The reason? A fraud charge tied to over $265,000 in unpaid markers at 2 Las Vegas casinos. Yes, the charges were eventually dismissed once he paid up, but the damage was already done. Because here's the thing, when a former NBA player is moving like this, people stop asking if he's guilty and start asking if he's broke. And that's not all. Behind the casino chaos, more questions started swirling. How much has Marcus really lost in Vegas? And why are IRS whispers suddenly in the mix? For a player who spent years flexing chains, cars, and a Vegas lifestyle, this bankruptcy moment feels like the start of a much bigger unraveling. It all came crashing down for Marcus at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. July 27th, regular morning, passengers waiting to board, kids tugging at backpacks, and then out of nowhere, Broward County deputies walk straight up on Marcus and his family at the gate.
Which one of you guys is Marcus?
Marcus?
If you could just come over here. We don't want to make a scene or anything. We just need to. We're gonna have to take you into custody, okay?
Body cam footage shows the whole thing. Cops tell him about the outstanding warrant, and before he can even process it, they're cuffing his wrists and sitting him down in a wheelchair. What threw everyone off was what came next: shackles. Officers wrapped his ankles like he was some kind of flight risk, and you can literally see Marcus looking stunned, almost embarrassed, as the crowd stared. This is the clip that shocked fans. Marcus Morris being shackled at an airport gate, in front of his family and everyone watching.
Hang on, one more.
One more what? Handcuff?
Yep.
Where?
On the feet.
Come on, bro. Come on.
It's the new policy. That's why I'm explaining everything to you, okay?
Never said I had to put cuffs on my leg. Wait above our head. I was just waiting above our head. It's no criminal. We don't make decisions. Alright.
From there, things only got worse. Cops took his belongings, handed them off to his twin brother Markieff, and explained that Marcus was going straight to Broward County Jail, no bond. Markieff stood there holding his brother's chains, while Marcus was rolled away in cuffs like a criminal. It was a humiliating sight for someone who had spent over a decade in the NBA, and the whispers started instantly. If Marcus Morris was really sitting on millions, how did he end up being paraded through an airport in shackles over casino markers? Because cops don't just roll up on you at an airport and throw shackles on for no reason. This all came down to 2 Las Vegas casinos, the Wynn and the MGM Grand, claiming Marcus owed them more than $265,000 in markers. For anyone who doesn't know, a marker is basically a fancy IOU. The casino gives you credit to gamble, you're supposed to pay it back, and in Marcus's case, the check bounced. That's why the fraud charges got slapped on his name. Here's the clip of Marcus breaking it down himself, insisting it wasn't fraud, just him being late with the payment.
When you do receive a marker from casinos, if it's up to $1,200 and you don't pay it when you don't pay it whenever it says you're supposed to pay, even if it's a day late, they can't issue a warrant. Technically, nowhere else they could do that. Vegas can technically issue different rules, a warrant for your arrest.
And he did eventually pay it back, which is why the case was dropped. But let's be real, the internet didn't let that slide. Because if you're worth millions, why are casinos dragging you to court over a couple $100,000? Fans were quick to say it. That's not millionaire behavior, that's broke behavior. Marcus tried to make it sound casual, like he's been gambling at a high level for years and never had issues before. But once that fraud label got attached to his name, it didn't matter. The picture was already painted. a veteran NBA player moving like somebody who's drowning in debt. And that's what made people start digging even deeper. If the casino debt looked this bad, what else could be lurking in the background? After the arrest, Marcus sat in Broward County Jail for 51 hours. No bail, no food, no water. At least that's what he said. On Instagram, he vented about being locked down 24 hours, chained up, blindsided, and treated like a criminal. He swore he never ducked or hid from paying anyone. To him, it was just a late payment. But to the rest of the world, it was way bigger than that. Because while Marcus was stuck behind bars, fans online were already picking the whole situation apart. One person even admitted, "I'm broke enough that I didn't know you could gamble at casinos without giving them the money first." That's how wild this story sounded to regular people. Others pointed out the obvious. Marcus has made serious money in his career. This man has made 9 figures in NBA contracts. Gambling is a dark hole to fall into. And honestly, when you look at how fast casinos dragged him for 6 figures, it does feel like the hole swallowed him whole. And then there's the fact that Marcus didn't even have a team last season. No checks coming in, no guaranteed money. Fans put 2 and 2 together real quick. No shade, but I think it's safe to say that Marcus not being on an NBA roster for the 2024 to 2025 season played a huge part in this situation. Now here's what makes this whole thing even harder to believe. Marcus Morris wasn't some bench warmer who barely got checks. He played 13 seasons in the NBA. By the time he was done, reports say he made well over $90 million in contracts alone. That's not even counting endorsements.
It is now official. Marcus Morris, he's going to sign with the New York Knicks. It's a 1-year deal worth $15 million.
So if a man who pulled in that kind of money is out here getting locked up over casino markers, it just doesn't add up. Fans couldn't wrap their heads around it. To most people, Marcus should have been set for life. But here's the thing. Those NBA checks don't last forever. He didn't play last season, and with no new contract for 2025, that steady flow of money is gone. And when you mix no income with a Vegas lifestyle, suddenly that mountain of cash doesn't look so endless anymore. This is why people started whispering about bankruptcy. Not because Marcus admitted it directly, but because the pattern is all too familiar. Now let's be real. Marcus wasn't living like somebody stacking for the future. He was all about the Vegas trips, the high-stakes tables, the flashy cars, and the heavy chains. He even admitted he's been gambling at a high level for years, like it was nothing. So when the casino drama hit, nobody was shocked. He basically told on himself. Marcus thought all the money and time he spent in Vegas meant he'd get special treatment, but clearly the casinos didn't care. They just wanted their money back. And the arrest made everything look worse. When cops took him away, his twin brother Markieff was the one holding his chains. Not his baby mama, his brother. People caught that instantly. If you're passing your jewelry to your twin instead of the mother of your kids, fans are going to start asking questions about what's really going on at home. In fact, even the officers pointed it out, explaining Marcus told them his jewelry should be handed straight to his brother.
If you want to just peek the window, I'm going to let him talk to him and tell him that I gave his brother everything. So I gave your brother everything. I handed it to him one by one. He put it back in the envelope, most of it back in the envelope. I explained to him what the deal was. I said that yes, and while I was speaking to him, they did confirm everything. That you're going to be booked at Broward County Main Jail. That there is no bond right now, but they are going to extradite.
And let's be honest, if the government decides you owe them, there's no walking away from that. This isn't just random talk either. We've seen it happen with other athletes. Big contracts, big lifestyle, and then tax liens, seized houses, everything gone. If the casinos expose this much, imagine what the IRS has on file. It's all speculation for now, but that's exactly how stories like this snowball. A guy who once looked set for life is suddenly moving like he's drowning, and the government loves to catch people in that exact spot. Now here's the thing, Marcus Morris isn't the first player to go from millionaire to money mess, and sadly, he probably won't be the last. The pattern is old, but it still shocks fans every time. Take Antoine Walker. The man earned over $108 million in his career. That's generational wealth. But by 2010, he was filing for bankruptcy. Why? Vegas tables, bad real estate deals, and blowing millions like it was nothing. He even admitted he'd drop whole bags in casinos the same way regular people buy lunch. Here's Antoine admitting himself how those Vegas nights drained millions like pocket change.
Tell us about the film.
Well, I wanted to come out and basically try to teach guys, not just necessarily athletes, but just people in general about having a lot of money. Sometimes different people come into wealth in different areas. So I wanted to share my story. going through bankruptcy, I kind of got an opportunity to do that and see all the mistakes that I made. So I want to share those things, but also tell my story so people can see it as a learning example. I'm creating a foundation for finance literacy. I have a book coming out at the beginning of the year.
Or look at Charles Barkley. Chuck didn't hit bankruptcy, but he was open about losing nearly $30 million gambling. $30 million. That's an entire NBA contract gone at the tables. This is Chuck explaining just how out of control his gambling got.
You once said that you probably lost about 20 million in gambling. Have you quenched that urge to gamble, or do you still like to gamble?
I love to gamble. I don't like to gamble. You know, I got to the point. So I would go to Vegas and I'd win $1 million.
Damn. I mean, what you play in a hand? 25, 30, 40,000?
I played 25,000 a hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Couple quick double downs, you can get that.
Yeah, and quick double down, you get it up out your pockets.
Then there's Latrell Sprewell, who turned down a $21 million deal because it wasn't enough to feed his family. A few years later, he lost the yacht, the mansion, everything. And who could forget Allen Iverson? AI made over $200 million, but nearly lost it all through entourages, lawsuits, and reckless spending. The only reason he didn't hit complete rock bottom was that Reebok had a lifetime trust waiting for him. Delonte West fell even harder, battling addiction and ending up homeless. Here's the heartbreaking clip that showed just how far he had fallen.
Let me see. Come on. Hold on, my show you. You just pushed back, right? He pushed back. I slid back.
Sean Kemp racked up millions in child support debt. Derek Coleman filed for bankruptcy in 2010. Kenny Anderson admitted he blew through $60 million on cars, women, and child support. The list goes on. But the point is clear. NBA money can vanish faster than people think. That's why Marcus's story doesn't sound far-fetched. He made over $90 million, lived the high life, and now he's being dragged through airports in shackles over unpaid casino debt. To fans, it looks like the same movie on repeat, another star falling into the same trap. And the scariest part, for a lot of these guys, the fall doesn't stop at debt. It goes deeper, uglier, and more public until their whole legacy is tied to financial collapse.